What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Aiden Davis Show. I'm your host, Aiden Davis, and today we are going over my first NFL mock draft. This was recorded in multiple segments, so I hope you guys really enjoy. It's been taking a long time to edit, but it's all worth it. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you are new. And let's get right into this. I'll pick the Jaguars are going to be selecting Aiden Hutchinson, the edge out of Michigan. In my opinion, he's the best edge prospect, the best prospect in the draft. And I don't think that they're going to be going tackle because they just franchise tagged Cam Robinson. I have the Detroit Lions going with Kayvon Thibodeaux, the edge out of Oregon. Kayvon Thibodeaux has had a bit of character concerns going through the combine. However, I don't think it's too much of a big deal. Apparently, he wants to have a gold jacket whenever he makes the Hall of Fame and he wants to win a Super Bowl. I don't have problems with that. Maybe some teams do, and that affects his draft position. But to me, it wouldn't affect it at all. So I have the Lions. I have the Houston Texans going with Ikem Okongwu, the offensive tackle out of NC State. Ikem Okongwu, best tackle prospect in the draft, in my opinion, and I think that he will go very early in this draft. The New York Jets will be selecting Evan Neal, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. I think that they will be going best prospect available here at 4, whichever one of the 3 fall to them that went ahead, that I think they will select. So Evan Neal does fall to the Jets here at 4. We have the New York Giants selecting Charles Cross, the offensive tackle out of Mississippi State. Very good tackle. The Giants need to help their offensive line. They've been in an offensive line rebuild since 2015, and Charles Cross should help catapult the rebuild a little further. We have the Carolina Panthers going with Ahmad Gardner, the cornerback out of Cincinnati. Ahmad Gardner has the best combine performance out of any of the prospects that I've seen in a while. He was making wild catches, really athletic, very, very good corner, and I'm excited to see what he can do in Carolina. We have the New York Giants selecting again Travon Walker, the edge out of Georgia. Travon Walker, very, very solid D lineman, flew up a lot of people's boards after the combine, had a great Senior Bowl, and I really love this pick for the Giants. The Atlanta Falcons going Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame. Kyle Hamilton, top 5 prospect, but has injury concerns. Had a knee issue all year last year at Notre Dame, and I think that the Falcons are going to be willing to take a risk here at 8 to select him. Overall, very, very good player. Can fly across the field, get interceptions for you, and he's a game changer for the Falcons. Seattle Seahawks are picking here because of the Russell Wilson trade. The Broncos traded the 9th overall pick, including with other players and picks, for Russell Wilson, and they will be getting Russell Wilson's replacement quarterback in Malik Willis, the quarterback out of Liberty. I really like Malik Willis here. He's not going too high, not going too low. This is the perfect spot for him to go. Via the Seattle Seahawks Jamal Adams trade, selecting Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback out of LSU. Derek Stingley Jr. is by many considered the best cornerback in the draft. However, I think that Sauce Gardner had a better combine than him. So I have him going 10. The Jets, once again, picking best available. I have the Washington Commanders selecting Jameson Williams, the wide receiver out of Alabama. Best receiver in the class, and I think that he will be very good right next to Scary Terry. Don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. Maybe they address it later on in the draft, but I think they're going to go with another quarterback to compete with Carson Wentz. I have the Minnesota Vikings, and I have them going Andrew Booth Jr., the cornerback out of Clemson. They need to help out their secondary, and this pick does exactly that. Andrew Booth Jr., very young corner. He's a project player, but I think in the next 2 or 3 years, this pick will pay off. We have the Cleveland Browns selecting Jermaine Johnson, the edge out of Florida State. Jermaine Johnson has had a great combine, had a great Senior Bowl day. I think that it was very, very, very crucial for him to have a good combine, for him to rise on people's boards, and he did exactly that, and he has risen mightily on a lot of people's boards. We have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. Jordan Davis is a mauler in the run game, and he always is forcing the quarterback out of the pocket, which is something you love to see from a defensive tackle. Now, he needs to work on getting some sacks because pass rush is a little bit of a concern for him, but he does get there and he causes havoc. We have the Philadelphia Eagles going with Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. I really like Trevor Penning here because the Eagles are solidifying their offensive line, getting young pieces for them to protect Jalen Hurts, which is their prized possession of the future. It is the Eagles again selecting Trent McDuffie, the cornerback out of Washington, helping solidify their awful secondary, They have one of the worst secondaries in the league, and they spent a first-round pick to try to help out that secondary. We have the Chargers going Tyler Linderbaum, the interior offensive lineman from Iowa. Tyler Linderbaum has been soaring on a lot of NFL teams' boards, so I won't be surprised if he goes earlier here in the draft, going top 15. However, I think that he will play probably some more center in the NFL than he will guard, but he can play both. So this is a great pickup for the Chargers to protect Justin Herbert. We had the New Orleans Saints selecting Kenny Pickett, the quarterback out of Pitt. He will be their quarterback of the future. Will probably compete with Jameis this year, depending on if the Saints re-sign Jameis Winston or not. However, I think that Kenny Pickett, by Week 17, will be starting for the New Orleans Saints. We have Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver out of the Ohio State University, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are getting a great receiver to play with Devontae Smith, who they picked in the first round last year. This is something that's going to be a building of the receiving core, and this is a very, very, very good, solid pick for the Eagles. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, I have a bit of surprise here. I'm going with Desmond Ridder, the quarterback out of Cincinnati, to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are in the quarterback market, have been looking at some trades, but none of them have gone through, and I really like Desmond Ridder going here. He's going to a winning organization, a winning coach, and a winning franchise. 21, we have the New England Patriots going Nakobe Dean, the linebacker out of Georgia. Nakobe Dean is the best linebacker in this class by far, and I think that he is going to a very, very, very good organization here. Patriots getting a steal at 21. I won't be surprised if Nakobe Dean ends up going top 15 this year. We have the Las Vegas Raiders going Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC. Drake London, very, very fast. He has to go to Las Vegas to replace some unfortunate events that's happened in the Raiders receiver room with Henry Ruggs and his accident. However, I think that they will bounce back with Drake London here. We have the Arizona Cardinals going Kaiir Elam, the cornerback out of Florida. Kaiir Elam is a second-round prospect, but I think that the Cardinals have to take him here because of their glaring needs at secondary. Won't be surprised if the Cardinals trade down here, but nonetheless, Kaiir Elam would be a very good pickup for them. We have the Cowboys selecting George Karlaftis, the edge out of Purdue. George Karlaftis, not too long ago, was considered a top 15 prospect, and now has since fallen a little bit after his rough Senior Bowl performance and his okay combine. I think there's a lot of people kind of jumping ship on him, and I think the Cowboys are getting a steal here. We have the Bills selecting Devontae Wyatt, the interior defensive lineman out of Georgia. Devontae Wyatt played next to Jordan Davis, so he did benefit from that, but I think that shouldn't be too much of a problem as he's one of the best pass-rushing defensive tackles in the draft. We had the Tennessee Titans going with Devin Lloyd, the linebacker out of Utah. I think the Titans could go many options here. They could go receiver, quarterback, or defense. I think there's glaring holes on the defense, or corner or linebacker, and they fill that hole with Devin Lloyd. Have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Treylon Burks, the wide receiver out of Arkansas, getting a weapon for whatever who's going to quarterback that team. No idea. Is it going to be Blaine Gabbert? Is it going to be Kyle Trask? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We have the Green Bay Packers selecting Chris Olave, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Chris Olave, very, very, very talented. I think after the Aaron Rodgers mega deal, a 4-year, $200 million deal, that they have to get him some weapons to make him happy and make him stay happy in Green Bay. We have the Miami Dolphins selecting Zion Johnson, interior offensive lineman, Boston College. He fits a zone run scheme, and I think that fits perfectly in Miami. However, I don't know what their new head coach will be running, but I have to imagine it'll be something similar that we've seen in the past. Kansas City Chiefs selecting David Ojabo, the edge out of Michigan. Now, David Ojabo, some don't have him pretty high on their boards. I think he's a late first, early second round pick, and I think the Chiefs going best available, select David Ojabo here. He's going to be able to be a good rotational D lineman piece for the Chiefs. We have the Bengals selecting Kenyon Green, an interior offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. And I think Kenyon Green, we all know what the Bengals are going to do, and they're going to surround Joe Burrow with a very good offensive lineman, and Kenyon Green fits that role perfectly. 2, we have the Detroit Lions selecting Matt Corral, quarterback out of Ole Miss. Matt Corral is definitely a project player. It's going to take some time for him to develop into the NFL game. I think that he's going to be competing with Jared Goff for a starting spot in Detroit. And why not get your quarterback now instead of having to wait and have a rebuild take even longer? First round of my NFL mock draft, Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Let me know if you liked your team's pick or not. Make sure you like this video, share it with all your friends, and subscribe if you're new. Make sure you have on post notifications, that way you never miss a video. With that being said, thank you all for watching and have a blessed day.